board manual. At this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for this morning. I would like to introduce you to Reverend Stacy Kopchinski. I hope I pronounced that correctly. She is the board president at the Spiritualist Church of West Dallas. She is also a member of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches Board, a reverend, as well as a National Spiritualist teacher. So she's very well qualified to be here today, and we are very grateful to have her. So please join me in welcoming Reverend Stacy.
Did you just put it? Oh, there we go. Okay. Good morning. It's so good to be here together, coming together to share in spirit. So thank you for bringing your energy and your loved ones' energies with you as we spend this morning together. What does it mean to be a spiritualist is probably one of the questions that many of us ask ourselves, I myself, every day. What does that mean to be a spiritualist? Spiritualism has this great triune within itself. Not only us as a triune, we are a body, but we are spirit and soul first, having an experience with our body. But spiritualism also is a science, a philosophy, and a religion. So the science aspect is phenomenal. It's proving that we live forever. Big words to take in, forever. I can't get past 1,000,000 years, so to think I live 1,000,000,000 years is kind of, I don't know, mind-blowing. And science is proving on a regular basis through physics and through study that there is way more to this life, not only here in the physical, but in the spiritual. Spirit is always coming back to us, telling us how limitless their life is, how they can do anything. And they try to inspire us to do the same, don't they? And then we have the religion aspect. And in our principle, we state true religion is living in accordance with spiritual and natural laws. So it's not necessarily just going to church on Sundays or just believing maybe one way, but believing multiple ways, living the religion through our daily life. And that also then brings in the philosophy, right? The fact that we know maybe, just maybe, anything can be fluid and change as we change and develop our understanding and our knowledge. August is a big month for me in spiritualism because we celebrate one of the great forerunners of our religion, Andrew Jackson Davis. And I noticed you have a picture of him right over here. There isn't a spiritualist church I've been in that doesn't, because he's actually considered the father of spiritualism. But what I believe he did is he brought us one of the greatest philosophies that we can ever live our life to. The greatest and the hardest. It was in a meditation that he connected to his spirit guide, Galen. And in this meditation, he was given a magic staff. I like the word magic because in spiritualism, we know it's not magic. We know it's natural and spiritual laws working in perfect harmony together. But a lot of us have a hard time understanding these natural and spiritual laws or living in accordance therewith. So sometimes when something maybe really spectacular happens, we use the word magic. But he had given the magic staff. And a staff, a helping stick, right? A foundation, a support. And when he was given this stick, Andrew Jackson Davis's guide said to him, "Behold, here is thy magic staff. Talk with it, walk with it, lean on it, and believe in it forever." And under that came the greatest saying of all. Under all circumstances, keep an even mind. Wow, just hearing that gives me goosebumps. Under all circumstances, not just the ones where you feel good, and not just the ones that you feel bad, or whatever the experience is, but under all. That's all-encompassing, isn't it? All circumstances, keep an even mind. Well, what is even? When I first read that statement, I thought to myself, well, a right mind. When my kids are following my rules, everything's right in the world, isn't it? So isn't that even to be right? I don't know, is it? So what is even? Is even passive? Is it neutral? Is it bad to be neutral? In a world that we live in now with this duality, which I feel all of us could probably admit somewhere in your life, especially during this pandemic, have we come to the right way and the wrong way? But we kind of forget that there's other ways, don't we? And I think spiritualism is constantly reminding us to open ourselves to new thoughts, new understandings, new perceptions. So when we're keeping an even mind, what does that mean? I don't think we're ever really going to find the answer. And maybe you're like, oh, some days I'm just too tired to think about it. And other days I probably go far into the other side of it, where I overthink it. But we need to keep an even mind, a passive, harmonious, peaceful mind. When we talk about natural and spiritual laws, some of the ones that you're going to hear about most frequently, right, is the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of harmony, the law of balance, the law of love. So how do we get into this even mindset? It's going to be different for all of us, because we're all individuals here in this moment having an experience. But we also know through the teachings and the philosophy and the religion of spiritualism, we are all connected in one way or another. So then we have to find the balance of being, one, an individual having an experience, and two, being an individual part of a collective whole, where our actions then in turn reflect all the actions around us. So we find balance. I ask, is balance an even mind? When things work in balance, we know that it works in harmony. So is harmony an even mind? My question that I always have is how? How do we do this? Right? What are some ideas to find this even mind? This place of oneness, yet individuality. This place of life and spirit. This place of God and understanding and unconditional love. How do we find that? There's actually a song in a hymnal that is called Open My Eyes. And when I think of this song, I think that maybe this might be the direction we need to find the even mind. It says, open my eyes that I may see. When I'm driving my car, I am so tunnel visioned to the road in front of me that if somebody just puts their little car right in front of my way, I get really upset. I did this morning on my way here as I'm thinking, even mind. And then he pulls in front of me and I go, okay, even mind. You know? Because we know through the doorway to Reformation means tomorrow, like 1 minute from now, we can be different than we were just a minute ago. So that was good. I reminded myself. But do we get so tunnel visioned in our daily living that we forget there's other ways, there's other roads, there's other paths? but they all lead to the same destination. See, for you see, it is not a race that we live in this world. This is an experience, one to be not easy and not hard, but to be an experience of growth and development. Our soul chose this at some point. You weren't really shoved down here against your permission. Somewhere you gave permission for this experience and all of it in its glory. And is that even? All of it? So when you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you had, I'm dating myself for anybody of you who wants to start singing along, the facts of life. Is that even? Could be taking the good and the bad and doing the best we can with it. We also know that really, no matter how hard we try, we cannot change those around us. We can only change ourselves. So changing how we might act to a situation, is that opening our eyes? The song also says, open my ears that I may hear the truth. Because sometimes we like to hear all the rhetoric, don't we? But do we hear the truth, our truth? Do we take the time to really listen to what's being said and then determine where we want it to go? It says, open my mouth that I may bear. Do we think before we speak? I sure didn't to that guy in the car, let me tell you. He just triggered my one thing. Well, I have probably 100, but one of many. He triggered, right? And I spoke. The thing is the universe tells us we can't take back our words either. We can't take back our words. So maybe we need to practice the pause. Is the pause even? It could be. We also have to have compassion and understanding. And we really love to try to convince ourselves that we have passion and understanding for others. But the truth matters is, do you have compassion and understanding for yourself? Because what we are inside is what we radiate on the outside. So do you have compassion for yourself? And if not, try to incorporate it within your daily living. We do try to live up to standards that have been created by other people, that have been created by our experience, that have been created by ourselves. But at the same time, we also have to find that even mind, and that even mind allows us to have flaws. It allows us to have maybe this tight view of something and know that then we can allow ourselves to work ourselves out of it. I have been working on the car thing, I don't know, since I was 17. I got some ways to go. But it's the awareness that we want to work with ourselves that starts this ball in motion, isn't it? If we weren't aware, we wouldn't know any different. And that's where the compassion comes in for others. Maybe they're just not aware. I know that's hard to accept sometimes because we do get very focused on how we were raised or how we understand something. But maybe they just weren't aware of that. So do we allow for tolerance? I don't on the road. Tomorrow is good. Starting now forward, I allow tolerance on the road. But I'm working on it. Spiritualism teaches us that every moment, every minute that we are here and in present, we have this grand power within us, this beautiful spark of the divine. No one has been without. No one has been denied. So inside of you is a force and a light and a love so great that any obstacle can be demolished by your love, by your light, by your spark of the divine. And when we come together in this morning to try to understand our life a little more, to feel loved, to feel part of a community, you are already making your light brighter. You are already shining brighter. So when you take this energy that we've experienced here and will continue to experience here today, take that morsel with you as you leave. Take the philosophy or the thought of even-mindedness, whatever that may be, because I truly believe it is in the even that we live in peace and harmony and unconditional love. You see, if love is truly unconditional, it will not have one side or another. It is an equal blending of all. So love yourself unconditionally, or try to. Have the awareness of, because the awareness is the momentum behind the energy to love yourself more. Love those around you, even if they cut in front of you. Love them, for they are also part of this great whole. Love those who don't think like you or act like you or, can be exactly like you. It's funny, I have to say, I'm going to digress for a minute into family. Because some people say, well, I chose this. And some people have those really great families and other people not so much. But truly it reminds us that it is what we live now. Not by what we chose when we decide to come down here or what we're going to choose when we leave here. But it really puts us in this moment and now to either embrace what we have, because we can't change the past, and the future is yet to be done. So take some of this philosophy of spiritualism, this ideology of this great, wonderful, continuous life that is proven through mediumship. Take that with you. And as you do, think to yourself, are your eyes open? Is your mouth open? Are your ears open? And more importantly, is your heart open? Because when your heart is open, you are connected to that divine within, you are connected to spirit, and there is no way they will inspire you to be nothing but even. So thank you for sharing and allowing me to share with you today. Thank you.